let's go to the fourth commandment of God's holy law. And by the way, the first angel's message is referring to, with its language, to Exodus chapter 20, the fourth commandment. By the way, what I'm going to read was spoken by God's own voice, and it was written by His own finger on tables of stone. So we must listen. It says in Exodus 20, verse 8, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Jews." No, it says, "But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God." We're going to notice the reason why. "In it you shall do no work. You, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For," now comes the reason. Why are we supposed to work 6 days and rest the seventh? "For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them," and don't miss this now, "and rested the seventh day. Therefore, the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it," or made it holy. Is this very clear? That God or Jesus rested the seventh day and then Jesus blessed the seventh day and made it holy? Yes or no? Absolutely. So this first week of the history of the world is what I call God's week or Jesus' week. You see, it's God's week before it becomes man's week. Because God is the one who worked 6. And God is the one who rested on the seventh day. In other words, the first week is all about God. The first week does not deal primarily with man. In other words, God, among other things, created the week by working 6 days and by resting on the seventh day. You know, as I studied this out, I discovered the reason why God did not command Adam and Eve to keep that first Sabbath holy. You say, well, what is the reason? Listen, folks, we just noted in Scripture that the day did not become holy until it was over. Jesus didn't make the Sabbath holy until the day ended. So how could He tell Adam and Eve when the Sabbath was beginning, keep the Sabbath holy, if it wasn't holy yet? Furthermore, how could God tell Adam and Eve, keep the Sabbath and follow my example, if God or Jesus had not first given the example? Furthermore, and this is a very important point, the Sabbath that God commanded man to keep was not the first Sabbath of human history, but starting with the second Sabbath of human history. And you say, how is that? But it's biblical, and it's powerful, and it explains why God did not command Adam and Eve to keep that first Sabbath, but rather the second Sabbath. What does the fourth commandment say? The fourth commandment makes the Sabbath a creation ordinance, because it sends you back to creation. It explains that you keep the Sabbath because of creation. Now, it's very interesting that God says in the fourth commandment to man, work 6 and what? Rest on the seventh. Now, here's my question. When that first Sabbath came, had man worked 6 days? He had not worked 6 days. So, could he keep the commandment technically that says, work 6 and rest the seventh? No. Jesus worked 6, He rested the seventh, and then the fourth commandment says that He told Adam and Eve and all of their descendants, now as you saw me work 6 and rest on the seventh, you work 6 and you rest the next seventh day. So after Jesus made the Sabbath holy, after Jesus gave the example, then He gives the fourth commandment, which says, keep the Sabbath day holy, because now, after I rested, the Sabbath is holy. So let me ask you, whose day is the Sabbath? The Sabbath is the day of whom? Of Jesus, before it is the day of man. The week was created by Jesus, and then the week was given to man after it was created by Jesus.